Good evening, everyone. I am Cam. This is Jason. That's Eric. And we are your fantasy friends. Actually, you know what? I'm not your fucking fantasy friend this weekend because of some bullshit, but I'll get into that in a minute. I'm just going to send it right off the intros because I'm pissed. Jason, how you living, baby?
I'm living strong. I feel bad for you, man. I'm not even gonna mess with you about it.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. Eric, how you doing, bud?
I'm going to mess with you about it. I outscored you. We didn't play each other, but I outscored you in Dynasty 146.94 points.
Dude.
Hey, I'm just happy to be here after so many weeks of being off, too. I really missed you guys. I missed doing the pod. So, but yeah, your team is fucking terrible, Cam.
I miss you guys, too, as well, also. I hit all three. And so we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to tell y'all what the fuck happened to me this week, all right? So I have on my team Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Derrick Henry, and Saquon Barkley. Those five right there should have – give me the fucking kneel down. Those five right there should have given me just copious amounts of points. I was projected at like 215. I'm about to crush this fucking idiot in our fucking league named Jeff. I don't even know if it's his real fucking name. I'm excited for it, right? Every one of those fucking guys put up less than 10 points. Aaron Rodgers put up like 1.6. Derrick Henry got me like 5.6. And like Mike Evans got 4 fucking attempts. Like he caught 3 passes and dropped 1. Like, what the fuck? And so I'm sitting there literally last night like, Mark Andrews is going to give me 150 points. It's going to happen. I know it somehow, some way. They're just going to bomb it to Mark Andrews. Nope. I'm fucking pissed. I'm aggravated. I'm butthurt about it. And I really prefer it not to be brought up again. So
how many points did you score?
I scored a whopping 88 points. I didn't even break 100, man. And I'm fucking irate. It is bullshit. Because for all of y'all that are here, we're going to be doing the first edition of Dynasty Talk Season 2 coming up this week. And in this show that I do, I am the most shit-talking, like, mean motherfucker ever. And what am I supposed to talk shit about? Myself? About how my team fucking sucks? And like my bias with Derrick Henry and the Titans fucked me over. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk. Let's fucking talk about it. You are who I thought you were. Y'all piss me off. Anyway, fucking whatever. Okay. So anyway, so I guess now that I've aired my grievances and I hate my fucking team, I got a question for you guys to start this out. Do y'all have anybody on y'all's team that y'all are particularly like disappointed in this week?
Well, now that you mentioned the one thing I hadn't quite paid attention to, and the fact that you were playing Clint or Jeff or whatever.
Jeff.
Jeff.
We'll figure out who he is one of these days. But the fact that you were playing Jeffrey, that now I'm disappointed in you because Jeff is now number 1 in our division.
Yep.
It was our division, Cam. I brought you in. We brought in nothing but scrubs. It was ours to have and hold. And you lost. You gave it to Jeff.
I was the first round pick overall in that draft, and I just came in and just fucked everything up.
You ruined it.
Way. Yeah,
you ruined it. So now I gotta dig myself out of over Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
So we have controlling interest of the division again, because Eric, he's not winning his. So.
You mean the person who just set the record? This is our 3rd year in this league. I just set the record for most points scored in a week.
A lot of records got set this week.
Yeah, I got
none better than the most points.
Oh, there's some really good ones. You'll be surprised as we go on.
Oh, real quick,
I'm excited.
Let me just throw this out there too. Fucking Mostert is fucking down for the rest of the season, and Gallup got fucking hurt, and Fitzpatrick got hurt. So I just want to, I forgot to throw those caveats, accoutrement to my bullshit fucking.
And you missed out on Ryan or Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, that was just insulting.
Dude, so let me tell you how fucking bullshit Sleeper is. And I'm calling you out, motherfuckers. Don't sponsor us. It's bullshit. Coors, you sponsor us because it got me fueled up, got me hyped up. Fucking.
Sleeper can't sponsor us if they would like this.
I put in a fucking for the waiver. I was like, all right, I'm going to drop Fitzmagic because fuck him. I never liked him anyway. And I'm a huge Taylor Heineke mark. So I'm like, let me go ahead and switch him. The trade, it doesn't go through. It's like, no, I can't. And then the next day, I got Erik fucking who just walks off now over there like, oh, I'm going to get Heineke. I'm going to put all this money on it. So like he ended up getting Heineke, and now I'm out Fitzpatrick. I ain't got my boy. Everything sucks. Whatever. Erik, who?
Yeah. Oh wow! Wow.
What'd that say?
I don't like that.
That's a signed Taylor Heineke jersey, baby.
You're a son of a bitch.
What were you saying before I rudely and very stylishly interrupted you?
Nothing. I wasn't saying anything.
That was incredible.
Go ahead, talk about players that y'all aren't happy with.
Not only did you steal dude's favorite player with the fab,
yeah,
you bought a signed jersey of
him. It just.
This is how I do.
Dick's in my crawl like a dick in the ass, according to Erik on Dynasty Talk.
It's dick in the mouth, but yeah, don't misrepresent my words. The only player, I mean, like I said, I scored the most points, but like honest to God, I'm a little bit worried about Damian Harris just because he did fumble the ball, and we know how Bill Belichick does. He puts those guys in the doghouse pretty quickly. James G. No one knows that guy. Why is that in my possession? Because I bought it.
He was literally trying to make Cameron feel bad.
Yeah. And he did. And let's be real here. Heineke is the next fucking GOAT. After Tom Brady sails off into the fucking into the sunset, Heineke's gonna be there to fucking grab that brass ring and just keep rolling.
We should talk about some games at some point.
Guys. Yeah, okay. All right. So
it is 7 minutes, and we have said nothing about week one except for how bad your team did and how good me and Jason's teams did.
Yeah, fuck. Yep. So I guess
excuse me.
I guess it's a good segue to roll right into Thursday night football this week. Boys, we had the comeback of NFL, and it was amazing. I had beer, and I just had that warm.
It was fantastic.
It was great. I had that warm, fuzzy feeling in my belly. And notice I said belly and not stomach because that's how great it made me feel. So, so besides Gallup going down, I just got to throw it out there. Those catches that he had, that toe touch and everything, I got so excited. I was like, bro, he's going to look good this year. I was all excited from a fantasy standpoint. And from a not-fantasy standpoint, I was completely impressed by the Cowboys. As much as I talk shit about them and I give Erik shit, fucking phenomenal job on their part. You just can't give Tom Brady that much time at the end of a game.
Yeah, well, it was so much fun to watch the two quarterbacks. I think that game was very much driven by the two quarterbacks. My favorite thing about it is they both broke, Cowboy records. Tom Brady is 6-0 in his career versus the Cowboys, and that's all time. And then Dak Prescott has 400 plus passing yards for the 8th time in his career. All other quarterbacks in Dallas history have 9 such games. And we're talking about a pretty young Dak Prescott who could do this for quite some time. That's pretty big for such a storied franchise. I think those are some pretty cool little secondary stats there. Going back to Brady, 15-4 in week one starts. Jesus. 15-4. Now we got to see him. He has to play another season so they can round that one out. You just got to keep finding reasons to bring him back.
Either 15-5 or 16-4. Yeah.
And the most sneaky stat that I found this week regarding that game, the Bucs are 8-0 in games when Rob Gronkowski has 1 receiving touchdown since he joined the team. They're 8-0 in games when Rob Gronkowski has at least 1 receiving touchdown.
Damn.
That means there's just no answer. You can't respond.
Dude, he looked really good this game too. Like last season, he was starting to round out like towards the end, but this looked like legit vintage Gronk out there. What were you gonna say, Jason?
Yeah, I was just getting tired of everybody trying to tell me that the other tight ends were going to be more involved, and I heard crap all day that day. Yeah. Oh no, Gronk! Because I was walking around screaming that. I'm like, man, I think Gronk's gonna be good tonight. How can we not expect a just freakish human being who's one of the best to ever do it? How can we expect him and the GOAT to not continue to do what they do? I'm not really hearing this O.J. Howard thing. I mean, sure, you'll probably have some games where Brady catches somebody sleeping on him, but it's Gronk. He's not going away.
Yeah, man. And honestly, like, it was old man power out there. It was AB, It was Gronk. It was Tom Brady. I mean, I was super impressed by the Tampa Bay offense. I think everyone kind of expected them to do that against the Cowboys. I'm honest to God really, really impressed with the Cowboys defense. We took the ball away. I say we, sorry. Let me be unbiased here. They took the ball away from them 4 times. Let me see. I think it was 4-1. Yeah, the touchdown or the turnover ratio was 4-1. Dallas won that. I'm just super impressed with this Dallas team to actually like stick around and expose at least the secondary of what was considered to be a really good returning all 11 starters defense of Tampa Bay. It was crazy that Zeke. I mean, they only ran the ball 18 times. Dallas, that is. Tampa Bay only ran the ball 14 times. So they were just like fucking chucking football.
Yeah.
So they didn't chuck a ball. But man, you couldn't ask. I mean, obviously, I wish Dallas would have won, but you couldn't ask for a better start to a season than that Thursday night game, man. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, well, whenever you're getting by 3 points, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, it all comes down to Tom Brady just got the ball back. That's really what it was. And then on top of that, talking to some guys at work, the whole Cowboys defense and their offense, you got to remember who they're playing. They're playing this Super Bowl winning team that is still there. So for these guys, I said it a million times before the game. I was like, Dallas doesn't have to win. They just have to give them a run for their money. That's all they have to do. They do not have to win the game. And I am completely impressed by those guys. And like, I'm really excited to see. This is honestly because I just got back into football not too long ago. That was my first like real Dak Prescott game that I got to sit down and watch. And Jesus Christ, he's the fucking truth. Like that dude looks so fucking good. And he's handsome. So he's got everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he's fucking. I was impressed.
Let's not forget we talked about it all off season. This is a guy who was technically pretty much numbers for numbers with Patrick Mahomes 3 years ago. Lamar Jackson got the MVP because of what he does on the ground. Let's not mince words. And then last year, the last year he was on a historic trend before he got hurt. So Dak Prescott in the last 3 years has shown us nothing but elite talent. The other thing I'd say is, and I really don't know this. Honestly, don't know this. Which is something maybe we need to research. But are we to believe that Trayvon Diggs basically shut Mike Evans down? Is that a takeaway from this?
He shadowed Mike Evans.
I was thinking that was what was going on. That's something to watch going throughout the rest of the season. Diggs. We know it's in the family. We got a lot of talent.
You hurt Cam's feelings. You talked about Mike Evans.
Well, hey, man.
I just saw him look away in sadness.
We might be talking about Trayvon Diggs in a much bigger way in weeks to come.
I'll wrap this up, at least my portion of this up, by saying that you could go ahead and forget about that shoulder injury that Dak had. He threw the ball 65 times. Mm-hmm. He's fine. The one I will say this: please don't freak out about Zeke. Oh my God, I saw so many people on Twitter. Oh my God, Tony Pollard is way better than Zeke and da-da-da-da-da. Zeke, they didn't run the ball because it's foolish to run the ball against a team. If y'all saw on the when the stat or the metric or whatever you call it, the graphic came up on the Thursday night thing, Tampa Bay was number 1 in literally every single rush defense metric in the NFL last season. They returned all their starters. Vita Vea, who is a monster, was back on, healthy on the line. So just don't give up on Zeke. He was in there for 73% of snaps. He was doing an amazing job of pass protection against JPP, against all these guys. So just don't give up on him. Just keep in mind, La'el Collins did get suspended for 5 games. They're hoping to knock that down to 2 or 3, but that is going to hurt a little bit for pass protection. So luckily, the Cowboys have the Chargers next, I think. Actually, not luckily. The Chargers can rush the passer. So just keep that in mind for tomorrow, or no, excuse me, for next week. I guess this week.
Yep, well, this week.
We want to throw in last little tidbits about this. One thing that stood out for me was that Adams kid that came out for Tampa Bay. I think he replaced Edwards, linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. I forget his first name. His name was Adams. This kid came out there and showed out. Like, he was everywhere. And I even got him, like, starred in my dynasty league because he put up some points. I believe it was like 8 points or something. I looked at it. I mean, I want to say this is his first time actually playing in the NFL. Like, it's his first time on the field out there, and he came out and just looked good. So, I mean, that dude's pretty awesome.
Was he the guy that he subbed in for? Didn't somebody break their arm in this game? Like a brutal break.
I want to say it was like Edwards or somebody.
I know you. He was like the free safety basically.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah. He was in the backfield. I was a little intoxicated, so whatever.
No, I feel you, man.
But yeah, no, I just remember being like, that kid, he looks good, and I call him.
He got some talent as a guy.
That dude probably whooped my ass. Well, that dude will whoop my ass. But Jason, you got any last thoughts on Tampa Bay versus old Dallas?
No, I say let's go ahead and move on to our big defeat.
All right, so we got Dallas out of the way. We're talking about something real serious here. Another reason why I've had such a shitty fucking week with football. I don't know how many times I said fuck football this week. The Tennessee Titans.
Several times in the chat, at least.
Yeah.
Tennessee Titans. Real quick, I'm just going to throw a story out there. So I was at work, right? And I work on Sundays, and I'm just like, hey, I'm going to lunch at 12:30. That way I can catch me a little bit of the game, eat my lunch, and go back to work, right? I came back from lunch in a really, really shitty mood because I walk in there and it was already like fucking 20-something to nothing. And I was like, okay, well, maybe they're going to get something going. And by the time I got off work, I saw we got fucking pounded, and I'm real upset about it. So.
Yeah, Tennessee probably hasn't played that bad in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you want to know how bad they were?
How bad?
Kyler Murray and Chandler Jones broke a record for the first quarterback and defensive end duo to have 5+ touchdowns and 5+ sacks in one game. Yeah.
I don't like that.
So that's pretty bad.
That's unfortunate.
The Cardinals, for the first time ever, had two different wide receivers with 2+ touchdowns each in Hopkins and
Christian Kirk.
Little guy, Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk.
Little guy.
Little guy. And I think that's pretty much it for the special stats I had here. Definitely Chandler Jones became the first player to have 3 sacks in the first quarter of their team's first game of the regular season since 1982.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and here's the one that really hurts. After drafting, multiple corners the last couple of years, getting Jackrabbit, this is what really hurts. The Titans defense has allowed 31 red zone pass touchdowns since 2020, and that is the most in the NFL.
Let me say something real quick. You don't deserve a nickname at cornerback if you can't cover anybody. Now, granted,
you're right.
DeAndre Hopkins, I get it. But what the flip, man? He was getting, abused. I love to see it because because I love DeAndre Hopkins, and I live in Arizona, so I was obviously rooting for Arizona. This was a shellacking that I don't think anybody predicted that. I know you've been preaching the Cardinals kind of praises the whole offseason, Jason. So I definitely give you credit where credit's due, but I thought Tennessee was like a top 6-ish team in the AFC.
Mm-hmm. I think they still can be. But
Julio Jones looked like an old man.
Say that again?
I said Julio Jones looked like an old man out there.
And that's fine. I mean, again, we have depth, If he can't play, he can't play. I really don't think he's make it or break it. I think Taylor Lewan is. And I think that's where the real concern needs to come in. Let's not forget this as well. We played the whole season without Taylor Lewan last year. So if that has to happen again, I think Vrabel will make that tough decision. But I liked what Vrabel and Tannehill both kind of echoed after the game, going into Monday, and quote unquote, we're going to figure out what kind of culture this is. And I like that response. It was no bullshit. They weren't deflecting anything. They basically said, hey, we're bringing everybody in tomorrow, and we're going to find out, who's here to play. And I'm hoping that, this will be one of those situations where they'll actually, right the ship. The worst thing about it is the last place you want to go to have a bounce back game is Seattle. with a full crowd for
That's
the first
tough.
time.
That'll be their first home game in damn near 2 years.
So,
there's a possibility it's 0-2 to start out, gentlemen.
Erik, you kind of hit the nail on the
I'm going to
head.
call it.
I really hope you're right about it, man.
I don't know what's going on. You were laughing a minute ago.
Who, me?
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I shut up. I was like, I can't
No, you're good, man.
But,
Cam, I heard him click something on his computer, then he just disappeared. He's back.
There you
go. My shit fucked up. It got real laggy and everything, and I was real behind.
You're good, man.
All I was gonna say is fucking Erik, I really hope you hit the nail on the head when I was having my mental breakdown this week, talking about like Derrick Henry and everything. You had said that entire game was set up for like the fucking run, and the fact that just shattered at the beginning. Like they didn't really. I mean, they try to stick with it. I'm hoping that's what happened, and we can just. I didn't see the game, like I said. I'm really upset to hear that Julio looked like an old fucker. It's not great. It's not what I wanted to hear. I don't think that's what Jason wanted to hear. I don't think it's what Ian was wanting to hear.
What I've been saying, but
he doesn't concern me that much. I'm going to be honest. He doesn't concern me.
AJ Brown has not stopped crying after his childhood hero, who he pleaded to, looked like an old man.
AJ Brown is going to be okay.
Oh yeah, I ain't even worried.
But bro, it is just bothersome to see Lawan in that shape. That is a terrifying thing.
But he's just coming back from a year off,
Yeah.
And Chandler Jones, he's playing he's playing with a purpose. He's playing for that. He's pissed off he didn't get a contract from Arizona. And it seems like, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like these defensive linemen, when they don't get a contract, and they play better in their contract years than any other position. I don't know how that's possible. Maybe it's like the anger of a defensive lineman coming through, but anyways, sorry. But what Cam was referring to, I said that the game script from like literally 2 minutes in the game was against Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's not a pass catcher. So if he gets game scripted out, if this happens in Seattle, it might be 2 weeks in a row. Derrick Henry owners or managers, are going to be, a little upset. But don't lose the faith. He's going to be fine. Sorry.
Faith, like Limp Bizkit.
Gotta have faith.
I told you I was going to bring in Limp Bizkit at some point during this fucking show.
What did Trent say?
I don't see Henry having a bad day of a day. Let
me read it. I don't see Henry having that bad of a day again. It's the same for the Packers. That was just a bad week for the high expectations team. Yeah, we can talk about the Packers next if y'all want to segue to that.
Yeah, let's just go ahead. There's nothing else to say here.
Yeah.
Except for, I'll just say this. If you're an NFC West guy in denial over Arizona, stop.
Yeah, like somebody who's watching this right now.
They're a real team. I've been saying it, and I've been saying it. They are a real team. It's James G. I know Jay don't believe me, but they're a real team, man.
No, I agree.
That division's terrifying. No
it's
way.
Rough, man.
I want zero part of it. But anyways, let's talk about some cheese heads for a minute here.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Shit.
You know
what,
off.
Man? Well,
gosh, it's right.
The reason they are that way, I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I'm just gonna say it. The reason they are that way, I bitched all off season. I was visibly frustrated on this show because we couldn't really talk about Green Bay. We couldn't get into Aaron Rodgers. And I refused to do it because I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of time studying, honestly, up on a team that I had no idea, what the outcome would be. But I did say this. We talked about it. It was a week before he came back. I know, we had a conversation. I put it out there. I said, look, if he's going to come back, he can't afford to go to another team. We'll never be ready. And, it was cutting it close then because he was walking in to week 1 preseason. Okay. So you saw a team get down. They got down bad. I'm not taking anything away from New Orleans because New Orleans looks great. But you got a team that went down bad. You got last year's MVP, who arguably a Hall of Fame quarterback. Probably will be. I would assume so. Aaron Rodgers goes out there and he doesn't look like he knows what the play is. He goes out there and he's throwing at single high safeties, just doing uncharacteristic, ridiculous stuff. And that the whole energy coming from him is lackadaisical. It's not concerning. It's not that of a leader. And, I'll say this before. We've had this argument on this show a million times, me and Erik. Where do you draw the line between employer and employee? When it comes to these quarterbacks making demands and feeling they need to have certain say on things. I was one of the first people to say, Aaron Rodgers, his speech was great. I agreed with everything that came out of his mouth. But when you're the leader of that locker room and you're the first guy who sets the tone on that culture in that locker room. Because let's be honest, the way he played them in the offseason, you can tell that neither that coach or that GM has really got their hands on the driver wheel, on the driver's wheel. Like, he clearly meant more. And for that guy to have that energy all offseason and come in, come out and tell it like it was about the team that he stayed with, and then come out and play like a turd, and then get on TV. And again, I didn't see what I heard was not that of a leader. I didn't hear, we're going to go back and fix this. Here's where we messed up, and this is what we're going to do. Someone who's been playing at a level like Aaron Rodgers for so long could clearly do. I mean, if anybody who watched the Peyton Manning broadcast last night, which we'll get to later, but you see my point. That's what a real quarterback sounds like when he's looking at evaluating the situation. It's not that Aaron Rodgers doesn't know this stuff. His mindset is clearly not here to play football, because I haven't heard anything football oriented from the guy. The only times that he has made sense to me is when he came out and had the speech about what his beef was with the organization. Other than that, it's all been Uncle fucking Jesse, and we're on Full House, and it's just, hey, I'm the fun guy, Aaron Rodgers. I haven't seen any work. I haven't seen any dedication. I haven't seen the will to win, and I haven't seen any leadership whatsoever.
I mean,
dude, Eric, you go ahead, bud.
No, I was going to say, man, I was just looking at. I didn't get a chance to watch that game because I saw what the score was, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch something. I forget what other game was on at the same time, but Aaron Rodgers was 31st in passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They're freaking the splits for that game between New Orleans and Green Bay is crazy. So it was 38-3, New Orleans. Fucking Jameis Winston threw 100, didn't even throw 150 passing yards, 5 touchdowns though. Dude can see now. But you look at it, man. Green Bay has three freaking turnovers, 229 total yards of offense. That's awful. And they weren't even playing in the Superdome. So, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
something's there. So you're right, Jason. Jason, you've got something there.
I mean, you brought Randall. You threw a fit and got Randall Cobb back and didn't target him once. He didn't catch him.
Sucks, but
as soon as Aaron Rodgers went out, he caught a 35-yard pass down the field from Jordan Love. I mean,
Jordan Love, baby,
crazy stuff, like things that you just wouldn't imagine. There's one play you go back and watch where he's targeting what appears to be MVS, but he throws it clear 25 yards in front of this guy, and MVS is like 6'5".
Yeah,
he's a big motherfucker, and he throws it like 25 yards ahead of him directly to the high safety, and it's like. Now, you can't tell me you saw something there. Like, what did you see? He's just not ready. He's not prepared. This is what happens, man. Hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard.
Yep.
Damn. That was good.
Get wrecked, Aaron.
Get wrecked, Aaron.
Nah, man, like, so my whole thing is I didn't see the game, obviously. But, like, I watched his little post-game little press conference, and I was just like, bro, like, first of all, you look like Mac's dad about to tell me to put heroin up my ass. Second, you fucking – I mean, he just – like you had said, dude, it's just so nonchalant. And it's like, bro, you caused all this fit. You were talking about how you're going to come back. If you do come back, you're going to give Brady a run for his money. And then you're going to come out and play like that. Like, what the fuck? I'm hoping he's knocking the rust off. But, like, you're really going to through all this, like, oh, it's about the team, it's about all this shit. You sacrificed your fucking play ability, like, by not going to practice, by not showing up for training camp, by not doing this bullshit. And now you're seeing and for people like me that need this motherfucker, like in Dynasty, what the fuck, man? It's bullshit.
Well, I was going to say this. If he doesn't right the ship, I sincerely mean this. If he doesn't right the ship, I hope Matthew Stafford wins the Super Bowl this year, so he can show him how you properly handle these situations.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm just.
Hey, that is a good segue into another game that was an amazing game.
It was. But
I just had one thing.
Oh, my bad,
I just had one thing. Sorry. So he has a recipe to get right next week against Detroit. Yeah. Although Detroit just give freaking 49ers a damn run for their money. But after that, the 49ers and the Packers. I'm sorry, the 49ers and the Steelers. Ooh. I mean, he's got Washington, Arizona, Kansas City, Seahawks, Minnesota. Like, dude, Green Bay has a hard schedule. So if he don't get his shit together quick, I mean, honest to God, Jason, you were saying you are legit worried for Aaron Rodgers in like fantasy. That is that directly affects Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams, who were both taken very, very, very high in fantasy drafts. So I would say this to Cam, you're a manager of both of those guys.
Yep.
Don't freak out just yet. Let's see what he looks like next week.
Right.
If he's not throwing, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw for at least 3 touchdowns and 275 yards against Detroit, okay, then you can start worrying a tad because they got San Francisco and Pittsburgh directly after that.
Yeah.
But sorry.
It's just, and look, I'm just going as hard as I am on him because this is a guy that I'm used to watching go out there and make it look easy. Yeah. So he usually has that calm, cool exterior because he plays like that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, that's not what I saw. It's not what I saw Sunday. So, but yeah, would you want to move to LA?
Okay. So this is what we're gonna do real quick, because we are already 32 minutes into this podcast and we've covered all of 2 games so far. We're gonna start hot shotting these motherfuckers.
Cool.
We're gonna go ahead. LA Rams versus the motherfucking
Bears.
The Bears. All right, so I'm just gonna get mine out of the way. Erik, Jason, y'all told me coming into this the Rams were the fucking team to beat. For some reason, it didn't click with me. I didn't see it. The Rams are the fucking truth, and holy shit, I love some Matt Stafford. And watching that game, I was like, I am not even going to lie to you. My NFC team, like, I would absolutely love to see the Rams go back to the Super Bowl. Those guys are looking fucking sharp. That's all I got.
That's how sharp they're looking. According to ESPN, Matthew Stafford had the highest passer rating, 156.1 in NFL history for a player in their debut with a new team.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And at a minimum of 20 pass attempts.
Yeah. Matt Staffy.
And then, so.
Make you happy.
You got that. And hey, look, let's not take it completely away from Chicago. David Montgomery's the first person to have a 100-yard rushing game on them since Week 15, 2019.
Trent, give me Montgomery, you motherfucker. I love
Montgomery, man. We've just been talking about Montgomery this whole offseason, and I've been so pissed off at the level of disrespect I saw for him on Twitter. I went and did a Week 1 victory. Oh, dude, people like, oh, he finished so well because he had his last, I think, 6 games last season were against very soft opponents, and he scored like 7 or 8 touchdowns against them. They're saying his value is propped up. I'm like, you obviously didn't watch him play. Dude, he was making did you see that run against Aaron Donald? Aaron Donald grabbed him and could not keep his hands on him. If Aaron Donald, is he a 3 or 4-time defensive MVP at this point? Like,
4.
You know, if he can't, like, David Montgomery is as advertised. I think he had a slow start to his career. I think he was a rookie. Like, he had a rookie lull. You can't deny, after watching him against pretty much the best defense in the NFL. Maybe Pittsburgh is up there too.
I agree.
Montgomery's going to finish 1,400 all-purpose yards and 8.
Give me Montgomery, Trent, you piece of shit. You didn't deserve that.
Trade him.
Just give him to me.
Yeah, and Tran, he sums it up perfectly. That dude was flying so seamlessly and beautifully. He really was, man. He was like, you know who he reminds me of? Nick Chubb light. Like, the way him and Nick Chubb, yeah, maybe not. But, I mean, man, both of those guys, I love them. And Justin Fields already got on the field. That's redundant.
We knew it was going to happen. You know, man, yeah. I told you all year about Andy, about the red rifle. I just, you know, I know we argued. I knew we argued. I know you didn't want to believe me. I'm going to see if I actually captured that. Yeah. Andy Dalton is a 6-18 career record in primetime games, the second lowest quarterback win percentage in primetime since the year 2000.
Ain't no fun. Hey, Andy, you ready to play this primetime game? You gonna have? How are you gonna do? He goes, well, it ain't gonna be fun. No, man, but for real, LA looked as advertised. Chicago honestly surprised me. I think they were just really, really overmatched in every facet of the game. Mm-hmm. But I think in that NFC North, Chicago can make some noise.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
Honestly, but that's all I got. I don't really have any fantasy takeaways from that game besides Cooper Kupp looks like the one there, but it's one game, so
right.
I'm not going to put too much stock into that.
Yeah.
Tyler Higbee looked really good too.
If anybody's listening to this solely for the fantasy purposes, I got the best advice from these two guys earlier this week. Week 1 is always a motherfucker, and I went back and looked through stats, and week 1 is always a motherfucker. So if you're new to it like I am, legitimately don't fucking freak out yet. Like we all will have a reason to freak out if this shit continues, but these guys have been keeping me from like fucking losing my goddamn shit.
You gotta stay grounded.
Yeah.
What game do y'all want to talk about next?
So I'm just gonna start hitting them in line from the way we got them on here. That way I don't lose track. So we got in a lot of these games, again, guys, I'm sorry I didn't see. I got work, which is a bunch of bullshit. Fucking
what a bunch of horse shit.
Yeah,
I agree, Cam.
Fucking work.
I hate it.
So I'm actually going to be looking to you guys to fill me in on some of this shit. So
that's what we're here for.
We're going to go with Philadelphia at against Atlanta.
That's Atlanta, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's not spend too much time on it. We'll just
toot your horn. Toot your horn real quick, Jason. I know what you're going to do.
Let's just say this.
Nice
First
one,
of all, Atlanta's trash. So I don't know why anyone was expecting
Ooh,
anything.
They're terrible.
I don't know why anybody was expecting anything from them. So that's all I'm going to say about Atlanta.
Say more mean things.
But I will say a few things to fantasy Twitter. I fucking told you about Miles Sanders a million times. A million times. I know next week I could be wrong and look like a complete idiot from here, but I told you. I texted Eric. I might have texted you too, Cam. But I'm like, man, all off season I used this one statistic to back up my claim, and it was that when Jalen Hurts played 100% of snaps, Miles Sanders actually averaged 17 fantasy points a game. What did he do? Week 1, game 1, 17 fantasy points that game. So we hit it. We hit the nail on the head. I'm proud of that one. I hope it continues to be that way. Gainwell did play a lot, but I don't see at this very moment any reason to fear Boston Scott or any of the other guys there. Kenneth Gainwell's going to do a lot for you. In as much time as he was on the field, you could begin to see a Chubb and you could see a Chubb.
Oh, I could see a Chubb all right. In my pants.
If I win week 2 in fantasy, you're going to see a Chubb on this podcast.
You're going to see a Chubb. But no, you could see a Chubb and Hunt type dynamic out of the two of these guys. I really think that there's enough opportunity there. But we talked about that as well. I told you Nick Sirianni was going to run very similar offense to what they ran in Indianapolis. And that's what you saw. You saw that offense. And that's why Gainwell had so much opportunity. I think as he grows throughout the season, you'd look to see a lot out of him as well. I love that Devontae Smith caught a touchdown, looked good. I love that Jalen Hurts looked competent. And you know what? Don't sweat the Ertz injury because Ertz is older. He'll take his time through that. Goddard needs to be out there all the time anyway. So
Ertz gets hurt and he comes back with the works.
Oh God, man! I was you kind of took mine, Jason. I was gonna say, Kenny Gainwell is the Naeem Hines of this offense. As he gets more comfortable, I think he's going to get a little bit more work. But I love, dude, you nailed it, man. Miles Sanders, super undervalued in draft season too. He was going like the 4th, 5th round. So anybody that took Jason's advice, I really sincerely believe you're going to reap the benefits. I would say this. Atlanta fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. So let's take this with a grain of salt. I don't know what Philly's schedule looks like moving forward right now. I don't have that in front of me. But I do agree with you, Jason. I like how this offense looked, but it's hard to get super excited against such a bad team. Arthur Smith, man, he's got his work cut out for him with this team. And I'm not saying this is his fault by any means, because I don't think this is a well-constructed team. When you take a fucking tight end 4th overall, you're an idiot team. Like, it's so stupid, but
give it to him.
I'm going to. Atlanta Falcons, this is for you.
4th overall, idiot bitch. And also, Erik said Atlanta fucking sucks, and I'm just going to go out there and say, not only does that team suck, Atlanta as a whole, you fucking suck. If you've been there, it's fucking horrible. It's trash.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Well, A-Town down. That's what we say.
Yeah.
We told you Arthur Smith was a bad hire in the offseason. So just remember, so you know, we talked about it before. He, Arthur.
I got a plan.
Arthur was a tight ends coach for a long time.
Boy.
Arthur was a tight ends coach.
He was an OC for 2 years before jumping straight into head coach. He's not ready. He's not going to do well. They're definitely going to be looking for a coach either this year or next year. I just don't see great things happening for them, especially when you look at how, you know, you're playing Tampa Bay, Super Bowl team, you're playing New Orleans, who looks fantastic, and here we go, the transition, you're playing the Carolina Panthers, who did a little something special Sunday. So let's talk about that for a minute.
Carolina versus the New York Jets. And before, I know he doesn't watch this because he doesn't talk in the chat or anything. Nick fucking Johnson. The Jets suck ass. Just fucking tighten up, baby. Just fucking tighten up. Even though Titans took an ass kicking, they're still better than the fucking New York Jets. Tighten the fuck up. I'm going to let y'all talk about this. I'm going to go grab another beer.
I only got 2 things, Erik. I only got 2 things.
Cool.
All right. So, first of all, Zach Wilson became one of 4 quarterbacks since 1970 to be sacked 6+ times in their first Week 1 appearance.
Oh.
Yeah, that you really cared about your starting quarterback.
Yeah,
really,
well, Mekhi Becton did get injured.
He did, but secondly, this one I love. This one touches me in my heart. Christian McCaffrey tied Hall of Fame Walter Payton for the 3rd most games with 80+ rush yards and 80+ reception yards by any player in the Super Bowl era. That gives me nothing but faith that Christian McCaffrey will end his career as one of the greatest running backs who ever played the game.
Dude, he was – I'm taking this from another podcast, but he was the number 1 running back on the week in fantasy, and he didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, that's so stupid. Dude, he was the number 1 scoring running back in PPR and fantasy, and he didn't score a touchdown. Nick Chubb scored 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's a few players in this league who are more fun to watch than Christian McCaffrey. It's a
very few. Yeah, but yeah, man. I would just say that I thought Sam Darnold looked. I didn't get to watch all of this game. I thought Sam Darnold looked okay. Not a world beater. Once again, it was against the Jets, but I thought DJ Moore looked all right. But yeah, man, that offense is running through Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson had a nice big old.
I think he only had like 1 though.
But it was
for like 58 yards or something.
It was so fitting. It was such a nice year.
I was playing him, and that touchdown won me some money in DFS. So because I had a Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson stack, so that was I'm not gonna complain.
Let me ask a question real quick. How did Corey Davis look in that game?
Really good.
Let's go, Corey Davis.
Okay.
He caught 2 touchdowns.
Oh.
Dude, I think off of pure volume alone, Corey Davis is going to be valuable because this Jets team is going to be playing from behind constantly.
Because they suck.
Because they suck. They're terrible. Man, I'm good with that. He is someone. Sorry, just 1 second, and I'll be done. He is somebody I would consider selling high right now, though, because I think this Jets team is not very good. He's going to be okay, but he's not going to. If you could get Will Fuller for him or something, let's go. Because Will Fuller hasn't played yet, so he might be kind of off people's radars. So just a piece of advice right there.
I'm doubling down on that. Get Will Fuller for him right now.
I like it.
What's next, Cam?
So next up, we have Cincinnati and Minnesota.
Gonna talk a little shit here. All season long, I was told.
Oh, yeah.
Jamar Chase was just going to screw T. Higgins up. There was going to be a huge target share issue. And I kept rebutting, A.J. Green had 100 targets last year. Didn't do anything with them, but he had them. And I'm just so happy to report that between T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, the aerial game was looking pretty good. I'm also not happy to report that Joe Mixon cleaned up. But you know what? We're only human.
I'll take that one.
Yeah.
You know what, though? He's going to look awesome for this week, maybe 2 more weeks, and then he'll get injured. And, it'll be a weird – no, I mean, if Joe Mixon comes and proves me wrong, that's fine. Some players you just get to the point where you're like, I'm not fucking with you anymore. Just can't do it. You've hurt me too many times. I mean, Adam Thielen, 2 touchdowns, killed it in DFS. Kirk Cousins now has – I don't know what it is consecutively. He is like – Kirk Cousins has been quietly fucking phenomenal for fantasy, which is wild because he doesn't run the ball at all, as we all know. But let's see, man. Minnesota, did they fix that defense? I'm not sure. Cam, are you okay? Did you just hurt yourself?
My leg's cramping up.
You need some salt packets. I don't really have anything else to say on this game. I am surprised that the Bengals won, but
quick thing. I'm glad you threw my boy Kirk out there. Just really quickly, 30-plus completions for the 9th time since joining in 2018. No other quarterback in Minnesota history has had 6 such games. None.
I'm loving these stats, Jason. I'm just going to let you know that.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins has 70-plus completion percentage, 350-plus pass yards, and 2-plus touchdowns with 0 interceptions in a loss for the 3rd time in his career. All the man does is his fucking job, and somehow he is perpetually let down. I don't know why.
He's a Matt Stafford. He goes in, he puts in the work, he does what he's supposed to do, and he gets fucked.
Yeah.
So Cousins is going to move on in the next few years, and he's going to do great when he goes to another team.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this to pop up, but since week 9 last season, Kirk Cousins has had multiple passing touchdowns in every single game except for 1. And that is a 10-game sample size? Okay, let's see what we got here. So on a per 16 game or a 16-game basis, that would be good for 4,770 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. That's over his past 10 games. He's been killing it, man. I'm telling you, Kirk Cousins he's the truth. Oh, Erik Romoff, Fantasy Nav on Twitter said one of his touchdowns was the Wilson pro day throw, that crazy across the body shit that Zach Wilson did in his pro day that pretty much got him drafted number 2 overall. So it's good to see, man. I think Zach Wilson, he's been the biggest surprise for me at quarterback out of the rookie quarterbacks, because I didn't think with his competition level he faced in college that he would be ready. But
I thought his middle school ass was going to die.
That's true too. He looked like
I was like, he is not prepared for what he's getting himself into.
Hey man, but good for him, dude. I wish him nothing but luck.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's cover 2 more games, fellas.
Okay.
Which ones y'all want to? What's got some good implications? Oh, let's do. We got to do Kansas City, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Got to do Kansas City and Cleveland. So I didn't see the game. I saw the fucking the missed opportunity with, what was it, a punt, right? They were
oh God, yeah, poor punter, man. Yeah,
that sucks, man. Because you're already in a shitty position being a punter. Everybody hates you. Like your mother.
You're damned if you do, damned
coach,
if you don't.
Assistant coach, you scream at the quarterback. Quarterback screams at the offense. Offense screams at the defense. defense screams at the fucking kicker, and the kicker screams at the punter. You're like, you're already in a shitty situation.
It's a circle of screaming.
Oh, it's a circle of screaming. So the punter comes back and yells at the head coach?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's a chain. I decided it was a better metaphor as I was doing it. Cam, you get the reference.
Yeah. So, like I said, I didn't get to see it. It sucks because, like, the Cleveland Browns are my dark horse for winning the AFC Championship this year. I like as much as I'm a Tennessee fan, of course they're number one, but I would absolutely love to see the Browns fucking pull it out this year. It would be amazing. I'm an underdog guy. It would be amazing. So that's all I got on that. You guys go ahead and take this one.
I'll just say this, man.
Go ahead.
I only have a couple things, Jason. Tyreek Hill is unstoppable. You cannot cover this guy. Almost 200 yards. Like, he literally was doing whatever he wanted, like, to the defense. Jason, you got the game up behind you, don't you?
Yeah.
Cleveland and Kansas City. And then Travis Kelce, man. Travis Kelce is that chain-moving guy. He still, he gets chunk plays. But those two together are just crazy. I am officially – sorry, go ahead, Cam.
I'm going to steal this from Jason real quick. Jason got me on to that Peyton and Eli show that they're doing where they're commentating. And they had Travis Kelce on, and they were talking about how often does he just go out there and Mahomes is just like, hey, get open. And he was talking about Tyreek Hill too. It was just like, how often are you guys just like, hey, get open? And it makes you wonder, like, with those two, just how fucking stupid good they are. If they just go out there and like, you know what? I'm not going to cross up any of my teammates, but I'm about to pull some crazy shit out of my ass. They're just unfucking stoppable. It's ridiculous. I'm
officially worried about Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I am too.
I think he might be very much not a special running back. He doesn't make people miss. He's not that fast. He's little. He doesn't break tackles. Cam's got bigger arms. No, he definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
But I'm officially worried about him. I would say on a scale out of 10, I'm at I think I'm at a solid 5 of like worry for him right now. But we'll see. But other than that, man, that was just such a good game. I really, really enjoyed that game. I think personally that is going to be the AFC Championship game right there, Kansas City versus Cleveland.
If Helaire was to say he's your son and he's a teenager, would you allow him to take your car out?
Yeah, he's slow. He doesn't hit stuff, so he'll be fine.
That's not the metaphor.
Actually, though,
but that worked out fucking great.
You can't find the holes very well. That's kind of weird.
Sex joke.
What's your name? Tranley.
Tron?
He said, bro, it was so entertaining. It really was. I mean, that was dude, there were so many good games. Man, you talk about Dallas and Tampa Bay, this game, and then Monday night game, Ravens versus the Raiders. The Raiders. Anyways, that's all I got about the Kansas City Cleveland game.
Yeah, Jason, you want to throw anything about that game?
I got a few things that are just so amazing, man. So amazing about this game. Before I get into it, it's all Kansas City love, but I'm just say this. You guys know I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. Love the Browns. My brother is very, a big part of the city of Cleveland.
Mitch.
Yeah.
Joe Mitch, love you, baby.
Q-Sticks. If you're looking them up, it's Q-Sticks.
He's an amazing drummer.
Yeah, but they do a lot for the community in the city. I know he was there. Big time game for Cleveland to lose, but you know what, man? It's like you guys said. It's just a matter of time before we see this ran back. I will say, Andy Reid is 9-0 against them in his career. That's freaking crazy. But without saying that, the thing that I love the most about this game was Patrick Mahomes, the baby goat, is really becoming that in front of our eyes.
As a kid.
First of all, this guy is 22-4 and starts where he starts behind. So in games where he's starting behind when he hits the field for the first time, he is 22-4. Nothing shakes this kid. All right, he doesn't come in, he doesn't get discouraged. He runs that offense the same way every game. He surpassed Dan Marino for most TDs in 50 games. He surpassed Kurt Warner for the most yards in 50 games. And more importantly, Erik mentioned Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is the first player in NFL history with 50-plus reception TDs, 5-plus rush TDs, and 5-plus return TDs. He is literally the ultimate Swiss Army knife that the NFL has never seen before.
Dude.
Yeah. So when you talk about losing to that team, be proud, Cleveland.
I mean, like, is the strategy just to try and keep it close, and not get don't go up so much on Kansas City because, like, or should Andy Reid just pretend like he's down by 14 every single you know what I mean? And don't play conservative because this is not just a new thing. That was the pattern when they won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Like they were down to the Texans. They were down to whoever else it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. To the Titans, weren't they?
Yeah, it was us.
They were. Yeah, it was the Titans. So I mean, they play their best when they're playing from behind. And also there's I think Mahomes is 13-0 in September.
Mm-hmm.
What the shit?
Yep, the baby goat, man. I'm telling you.
So I just want to throw it out there. This is, in my opinion, the highlights that I saw. It's the same way as Dallas and Tampa Bay. Cleveland did not have to win. Kansas City is by far the fucking even though Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl last year, Kansas City is the creme de la creme of fucking football team. So the fact that Cleveland gave them a run for their money just goes to show that they are a fucking contender. Yeah. So I think that's phenomenal.
I think that was important for Cleveland to do too because they were getting a lot of hype in the offseason, and I think they absolutely nailed it. So
all right,
let's go Browns. Let's go Browns.
Yeah, I think everybody here is on the Browns train.
Oh, I'm done.
We're on the Brown.
I'm going Brown downtown.
I like it.
I'll go with it.
So we're gonna hit on one more game. If y'all have any suggestions, go ahead and throw it out now because I got mine.
My other computer died, so I don't even remember who played.
I think. Look, I'm just gonna say Baltimore and Las Vegas.
That's
Holy shit. Okay, so two things because I did watch this game. One, I did not pay too much attention to Darren Waller before this. That dude is fucking amazing. If you got him in the Dynasty League, hit me up. I'll give you Devontae Adams for him right fucking now.
This guy.
Yeah.
You can't have him.
God damn it. Fuck. Anyway, and then also, what's the Max Crosby?
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
I'm going to get it real personal here. They went on the story about his AA thing he's doing, alcohol and everything. And then they brought in who was the other guy that they brought in with it? Because there's another player on that team that's been
Darren Waller.
Darren
yeah,
Waller.
Oh, yeah, so it was Waller.
Yeah.
And they talked about how Waller's been helping him out. And, dude, that shit hit home. And I'm going to tell you right now, just because of that, seeing Crosby play, seeing Waller doing what he's doing and seeing that, dude, I'm a fucking Raiders fan. Put me all in for him. Like, I'm cool with that shit. You made a fucking fan out of Cam. You tug at my heartstrings, and I'm fucking – I love it. That was awesome. And the game as a whole, so I missed the last few minutes, unfortunately, because I dozed off on the couch like an idiot bitch. But goddamn was that game fucking good. That just goes – when I think about football, dude, and I was getting all hyped up for this season, like there was some good games. But goddamn, that was a good fucking game, dude. It got me hyped up, and I'm so fucking ready for this season, dude. I'm sorry.
Cam celebrated their sobriety by drinking a lot of beer.
But drinking, this is number 4 on the pod, and I've had 2 before this, so fucking beers.
No, man. It was, dude, it's such a cool story. And then Carl Nassib, too. He's the first openly gay player to actually be on an active roster. And he was key in that Lamar Jackson fumble at the end.
Yep.
So, dude, they playing the heartstrings a little bit. But, yeah, man,
I'm all about
the
it.
Raiders are cool. But I love Vegas. Vegas is freaking awesome. So, like, just the fact that they play there, and they have the most beautiful stadium in the NFL.
They do.
Like,
they
Jesus.
do. It looks so much better than LA's.
Dude,
that opening, when they had fucking Bruce Buffer, is that who it was? It was Bruce Buffer, and then
Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner, I think is who it was.
And then Steve Aoki, or whatever the hell his name is. That was the most hype intro to I don't know things.
Nokia.
But that was the most like beautiful, fucking awesome, like hyped up I've ever been for. Like that might be what I was so hyped on this game. I was just like from before the kickoff even fucking happened. I was like, All right, let's go.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, it's some good, clean fun. It's all.
Let me ask you this. I'll ask both of y'all this.
Yeah.
Do the Raiders actually have a chance to make the playoffs? Because if you would have asked me before the season, I would have said, "Oh hell no, no."
Yeah.
But dude,
absolutely.
I don't think they have the receiving core for it.
Yeah.
But I've never had an issue with Carr at quarterback. I think that it starts with the quarterback, and I don't have any issues with him. And I mean, if you want to go ahead and hit the epic kneel down, I can go ahead and
oh yeah,
pontificate about this a little bit further.
Da, 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 da. All right.
So one of my favorite moments of last night. All right, so the first things first. This mighty epic kneel down is for you, ESPN, and for all you idiots who didn't watch last night. That was the single greatest display of NFL football I have ever seen. That is how you make amazing television. When you had Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and Ray Lewis breaking down that game, and you had Eli and Peyton. Peyton was literally pretending to be John Gruden and calling the plays to Eli, who was pretending to be Derek Carr, and literally the two of them showing you how they run that offense versus Ray Lewis talking about some of the craziest defensive schemes and things that they did in Baltimore that I never realized, like rotating the mic, like who's going to be the mic this turn, and how they kind of designated to each other who was going for what, kind of like a bunch of angry, hungry dogs. Like, all right, I'm getting this one. This signal right here means I'll quarterback and nobody else. They had all these different routines in Baltimore, and you always think about Ray Lewis as one of the greatest linebackers of all time. And then when you hear like the magic that went into it and how he ran that defense and stories of things he did to Peyton and that time he gave Eli a 0.00 QBR, which is like an incredibly hard thing to do because you start out with positive QBR, so you have to actually make mistakes to get down to 0.
If you threw the ball in the dirt every pass, you'd still get a 39 QBR.
Yeah.
Legit. That's a true story.
So the two of them talking that out was amazing. But having him break the Ravens D down and seeing the offense through Peyton and Eli, if I was Gruden, I'd be a little upset with Peyton because he drew that thing out there. He was explaining it all. And one of the greatest moments about it was, you have to see this initial kind of humor when Peyton draws this whole offense out and he's like, look, Eli, this is all the verbiage you got before they even called the play. And you just see Eli's look like, oh, hell no. And then it gives you an appreciation for Carr because Carr is a good quarterback. But once you get to take a look at that system and how much verbiage there truly is and how much he's having to get all these different position groups cued in on so many different things. Eli had mentioned during the cast that, trying to get the offensive line to pick up on some of that stuff alone has got to be uber challenging. Point is, I don't think I've ever watched football in such an immersive experience. I don't think I've ever learned as much watching a single solitary game as I did last night. And I love that they brought in, true pros. Watching Travis Kelce break down Darren Waller knowing he's playing Baltimore Sunday was one of the most fun things that you could possibly watch.
And he didn't remember that they were playing Baltimore.
So he didn't remember. Yeah, and Peyton had to keep telling him, "You going to Baltimore Sunday? Don't go to L.A. You're going to Baltimore." But dude, listening to him break down Darren Waller and talking about the similarities in their game, and he was basically studying tape for this upcoming game, and you got to watch that in real time. And then to end it out with Russell Wilson, who's just such a great guy, another great quarterback, a guy who's beaten Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl, guy who comes from here in Virginia where we're from, stand-up class athlete, and just all-around great leader in the locker room. Listening to him break down the tape and watching him get to take a few shots at Peyton and Eli was particularly funny. I think my favorite moment was Peyton was trying to very delicately get him to explain how Lamar Jackson gets these safeties to look off the running back in that style of offense, because it's not something that they have a lot of experience in. But obviously there was like a little tension there because it's like, yeah, I'm asking you because you're black to explain this guy. And so, but Russell handled it like such a pro. He just turned it right around and he's like, what do you mean? You guys are some of the most prolific runners at the quarterback position. And he just turned it around on him. And it was so funny. And like, he actually recalled a play that they had back during that Super Bowl where Peyton did indeed get him to look him off and walked in for a touchdown. Dude, that was, they had me up till 1 o'clock in the morning. I could not take my eyes off of it. And ESPN, you need to announce that better because I feel like I was the only one who knew it was happening. And B, wow, do more of that. It doesn't matter if it's Peyton and Eli every week. You got Drew Brees now. It's kind of weird seeing him up there. But that's it, man. That's the ticket right there. That's what people want to see.
Hell yeah.
All right, so that was a beautiful kneel down. This is pretty much going to do it for the pod this week. I think we nailed everything. So if you're done, go ahead and tune out because right now, for the next few minutes, this is just some bros talking. All right, we're gonna divert here real quick. I'm just gonna talk to my boys for a minute. So if you want to stick around for this, you're gonna get some healthy knowledge. If not, you can go ahead and fuck off. Wolfpack sign, whatever. So with you guys, man, obviously. If y'all need to go, we can go. But I just want to throw this out there. With the craziness that's been week 1, right? I mean, obviously, like me, a fantasy guy, I've been just fucking totally dicked over, and like it's fucking horrible. As of last year, you saw your top guys, your wide receivers, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, your quarterbacks, it was Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes, obviously, your running backs, you had Henry and Cook. And so, like, I guess my question to you guys is like, who, if you could have anybody in fantasy right now, who would be like your top guy in like each section? Let's go quarterback, running back, wide receiver, like right now. Like knowing what we know, knowing that it's bullshit, week 1 is bullshit. Who do you think is like the top 3 guys right now?
And this is just to win this year, correct?
Yeah, just for this year. Like fuck everything that happened. Like Like who do you think are like your top guys right now?
For me, running back is easy. I think it probably is easy for you too, Jason. It's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
No one else gets the usage that he gets. He was number 1 on the week, like I said earlier, with no touchdowns. He's going to get probably at least 12 all-purpose touchdowns this season.
Mm-hmm.
For wide receiver, man, it's got to be Tyreek Hill. Like, I could see maybe DeAndre Hopkins as well has got to be up there.
Yeah.
Even Devontae Adams. I definitely think this. We'll see how it goes, but I like Devontae Adams still. He's still very, very talented.
How frustrating is it, though, in a dynasty league when, like, obviously people have their players locked in and you just keep seeing Tyreek Hill pop up, just bad motherfucker, bad motherfucker, bad motherfucker every year, dude. It's so frustrating. Like, I just want to.
That's why dynasty's not for everybody. Honestly, it really isn't. I mean, we have that in our league. We had one guy. Actually, a bunch of us drafted well. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But one guy drafted really, 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 really well. And
fuck you, Burnham, you piece of shit. I'm just gonna call it out there. He ain't watching this. Fuck you, dude. Like,
and he's made really good transactions and stuff too. It is frustrating, but quite honestly, you can trade for him. Nobody's off the block. I mean, Jason says Darren Waller's off the block, but if I came at Jason and said, "Hey, man, here's Travis Kelce, let's trade him straight up," maybe Jason would do that. Maybe he wouldn't do it. I'm not sure.
Eric was just filling that out. That's what just happened. Eric was like,
tempting.
"Hey, let me just."
Just because the only reason I would consider it is just because Darren Waller's like 3 years younger.
Yeah. It's tempting. I would go ahead and say you just answered the question on tight end.
Yeah,
I would say Darren Waller's your guy right now. He got 19 targets last night.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
Like,
and the Ravens doubled him he was bracketed every single play.
Mm-hmm.
And
I completely like to show you how much of a novice I am in this shit. When they were like talking about Waller, for some reason I was thinking he was a fucking wide receiver.
Well, so he played wide receiver in college, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
I wasn't watching him in college. I was just sitting there.
Neither. Yeah.
It took me. I had to go into fucking the app, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like he's a tight end. Fuck! Like he was that good.
He moves like a wide receiver.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay, so we got tight end, we got wide receiver. I think we hit
on running back.
Yeah, we got the running back. Who's the quarterback this year, man? Who you thinking?
I think I answered it earlier. It's between two guys for me right now, and I could be absolutely insane, but it's between two guys for me right now. We said Matt Stafford came out and put up the highest QBR ever for a guy in his first start with a new team. I think that's good. That's a good sign that you can lean on him for the rest of the year. That team likes to throw the ball. They have the OC for it. I like him there a lot. I also like Tom Brady. I mean, you start the season up, you're the GOAT, you put 40 down. Okay. I'm good with you for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But that's it for me. It's between those two.
I'll give a different two then, because the first two that popped in my mind, Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott. For fantasy purposes. I might be overreacting a little bit to Kyler Murray just because he did have 5 all-purpose touchdowns, but man, God, he just looked good. Like that offense looked better than I've ever seen it look before.
Yeah,
it was just clicking. And then Dak is going to throw the ball. He's probably going to average like 48 to 50 attempts a game.
Probably
because even though the defense is a little better, it's still nothing to write home about.
Right.
And Kellen Moore has shown that he's willing to throw the ball. They'll play like Buffalo, or they'll play like Kansas City, or these teams that are Pittsburgh. They're just going to throw the ball a bajillion times. Pittsburgh last season, I should say. Going to throw the ball a bajillion times. So I'll say those two because they give you a little something with their legs. Kyler Murray, of course, more than Dak does now. But yeah, and Dak, he looked scared when he was out there running. Like when he did a couple scrambles on Thursday, I was like, to me, I was like, no.
Yeah.
But I think he looked a little hesitant.
He looked hesitant. I do agree, but I thought he made really great decisions.
Yeah, he did.
He did, and that was one thing that so watching Dak play, man. Like I said, going back to it, I never really got to really watch him play before. He just looks so knowledgeable while he's on the field. Like he's constantly, I don't know, there's just like this look in his eyes, and like when he's playing, he's so fucking smart, man. And like watching this dude play was like watching like art. Like it was just so fucking awesome. Like I am not a Cowboys fan by any means, but God damn it, was I a Cowboys fan that night? I was a Dak fucking Prescott fan. That dude was fucking awesome. I love me some Dak. Give me more Dak. But I will say this, my two for fantasy purposes, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and mark this fucking podcast. I'm gonna say Stafford and Mahomes. Those are you two. And that's going to be your Super Bowl this year. The fucking LA Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs. Like that's my fucking prediction, man. I'm going to go all out. My week 1 prediction. That's going to be it. Hey, so we're running hella over. I'm sorry, guys. I kept y'all, I just, it's been a minute, man. I wanted to.
No worries, bro.
Fucking bullshit with you guys about football because it's so.
Call me in real life afterwards and we'll talk.
Yeah, and then also, real quick, I just do want to throw this out there because this is a big implication because I'm going to throw it on the podcast as well as work. I have a bet with a guy at work when Miami plays Tennessee. If Miami wins, I have to wear a fucking Miami Dolphins shirt into work the next day. And, like, football is a big deal where I work at. And if Tennessee wins, he has to wear a Tennessee shirt into work, which is going to be amazing because for some fucking reason here in Memphis, nobody likes the Titans. Nobody. So fucking apparently it was a tax thing with Nashville. Like fucking
it's not just Memphis. It's not just Memphis.
Hey, shut up. So also that's gonna do it from all of us.
Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch.
From all of us here at Fantasy Friends. We've enjoyed this. We will be back next week. Go check out Dynasty Talk Weekly. Eric is still doing big things. Go check out his Twitter at Fantasy Barbecue. Always putting up the good fantasy and barbecue and doing cool things. And also the big thing that I got to throw out there, the fucking Low Down Dirty put out their fucking EP. And Jesus Christ, if you were into music in general, this is like the most fucking intense, beautiful fucking album I have ever heard put together. If you want some fucking goddamn heaviness, it's there. If you want some weekend beautifulness, you want to go get some fucking in, listen to this album. Listen to Shine, motherfucker. It's such a great album. Jason, I can't tell you enough how amazing that album is. Y'all fucking killed it. Go fucking listen to it. Kenny Gold, holy shit. What up, dude? Tighten the fuck up, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we do here. Fantasy Friends. friends. We're
Fantasy friends.
Doing great things. We love all of you. And if you want to fucking watch next week, then just come on in and watch next week. Let's throw it in. Kenny, come on.
If you don't want to, you come on in and watch next week.
And if you don't want to, fuck you. We're going to keep doing this every week. I've missed the fuck out of you guys. It's been awesome. All of y'all that have Erik Romhoff. I don't even fucking know you. You're a cool dude.
Man, he's a good dude. Writes with
You're
me.
a beautiful bastard. Kenny Goad. I did not expect you in here, but holy shit. I love you, dude. It's so good to see
Kenny
you.
Goad?
You guys got anything that you want to throw in?
We went to
I
high
feel like
school
I'm going on this outro forever.
No, man, I just appreciate, dude. It's been great to get back into this. It's been like, I feel like almost a month since we've done one of these. So we'll keep them pumping out regular for y'all. You can find me on Thursday. I'll be actually like guest hosting a podcast called the Dynasty Gambit. It'll be on the Going for Two live network on YouTube and all that other stuff. So that'll be fun. I'm actually going to get off here and write a show sheet for that. And actually, yeah, man. But other than that, I'm dropping an article every Friday or Saturday. Oh, yeah. Oops.
My man.
Oops, I clicked the wrong thing.
Kenny fucking go.
I'll be back for future episodes. Thanks, bro. I really do appreciate that. That's awesome. But I'll be dropping a buy low, sell high article every week as well on goingfor2.com. So I'll be working on that tomorrow and Thursday. But other than that, man,
Jason,
all I do is fantasy football.
Yep. Jason, you got anything else?
Nope.
Okay, well, hey, like Taking Back Sunday in the early 2000s, tell all your friends about this fucking podcast. We love y'all. Everybody get it in. Fucking, there it is.